The Oklahoma Outlaw. Friends, countrymen, gather round, for I want to tell you a story that isn't written in the polite history books. A story stained with dirt and blood, whispered under the vast, indifferent Oklahoma sky. We talk of heroes and homesteaders, of pioneers who tamed the land, but what of the storms that tore through it? What of the men who were not builders, but breakers? I stand before you today to speak of such a man, a whirlwind of a soul named Zip Wyatt. He rode the Cherokee Strip, not with a plow or a bobble, but with a 6-gun and a hunger that burned hotter than the prairie sun. His name, Zip Wyatt, echoes with the grit and determination of a man who bent to no one's will. They called him the Oklahoma Outlaw, and for a good reason. He was a force of nature, a raw spirit of a frontier that bowed to no law. Zip didn't just rob, he plundered with chilling fury. He didn't just fight, he killed without pause, leaving behind a trail that smelled of blood and burnt powder. His was a life lived at a fever pitch, a furious, violent dance with destiny. To some, he was a mad dog, a menace that needed to be put down. To others, he was a legend, a testament to the wild, untamed spirit of the West. He was the embodiment of a time when justice was a concept, not a guarantee. He was the raw, unvarnished truth of a frontier that demanded more than just hard work. It demanded a primal ferocity to survive. But every storm breaks, and Wyatt's fire was burning too bright to last. His legend was built on a foundation of blood and lawlessness, and the weight of that blood draws its own gravity. By the summer of 1895, the forces of order, in the form of relentless posses, hunted him like a wolf on the run. They were the tide of civilization, and he was the last furious wave crashing against the shore. Zip fought back with the ferocity of a quartered beast, his rifle barking across canyons, his pistol spitting lead under a sun that baked the plains dry. He knew his time was short, that the circle was tightening. He must have seen it coming, the inevitable moment when even the fiercest rider must falter. And then, one ambush was all it took, a thunder of gunfire roared, a chaotic symphony of lead and desperation. Bullets stitched the dirt around him, a brutal tapestry of his final moments. The sound tore through the legend as his body finally gave away. When the dust cleared, Zip Wyatt lay sprawled and lifeless, a final tragic portrait on the canvas of the Oklahoma plains. There was no gallows, no courtroom drama, just a straight judgment of lead. His was not a peaceful end, but perhaps it was the only end a man like him could have. His name still drifts across the old tales of the Strip, spoken with a mix of fear and fascination. His life, a brutal, unyielding saga, poses a lingering question. Was he the devil's hand, a force of pure malice, or was he just another soul consumed by the hunger of the West? Was he born to be a monster, or did the unforgiving land and a life of hardship turn him into one? That question lingers, carried on the wind that still whispers over the homes of the frontiers, a timeless riddle etched into the very soil he fought and died on. And in that whisper, we are reminded that the American West was not just a stage for heroes, but also a crucible that forged legends, both good and terrible. I hope you enjoyed the story. Have a good day, guys.